Our next performer lived in Scotland, Edinburgh in fact, for 10 years, and she is a teacher at the Royal Marsden Hospital, and she also is active in the Southwark Stanza group of poets, and it's her second time at Dodo Modern Poets, and we're delighted to welcome back Penny Faulkner.
If I'd remembered we were being filmed, I'd have done something about my fringe, which was too long. Apparently, today on Radio 4 there was a debate going on about whether teachers should be called by their first names or not. And as it happens, I've got a poem here about names. The name Penny can be turned into lots of different variations, and so I decided it was worth getting a poem out of that. And it's called In My Shoes. P is a flip-flop, the minimal shoe slipped on quickly and just enough to stake a claim. The snare drum beat of possession. This is me, this is mine. Pen is the old slip-on shoes by the back door, useful for stepping outside to hang out the washing. A casual touch of air and sunlight that reminds me of myself. Penny is the brown ankle boots that I wear by default. Inside each is an invisible circle of blood, a reminder of the blisters they gave me once, a seal of ownership. Penny Rose is a pea-green ballet slipper with a fan-like toe. Bought for $5 in a charity shop, they make frayed jeans look special, edge the everyday with grace. Penelope is the navy kitten heels worn for occasions. They clack on the floor, ooze confidence and adulthood, remind me that I appear capable, must stand up straight. Penelope Rose is the 3-inch stilettos that make me 6 feet tall and too glamorous for comfort. With these shoes, nails must be varnished, skin smooth. Eventually, I'm sure to abandon them under a chair and dance barefoot, running all the risks of stubbed toes and cuts, but happiest after all, to stand at my own height and to walk away in silence. I've realised a few of these have got medical references, so I apologise in advance if my scientific and medical knowledge is wrong. This one is called Sight, and I heard someone say once, I'm not quite sure if this is true, that the pupil comes from the word pupilla, which means little doll, and it's the idea that if you are close enough to someone and you look into their eyes, you can apparently sort of see yourself reflected in their eye, or that was what people thought. And the poem itself is called Sight. Caught within your orbit, I notice the colour of your eyes, like the earth as seen from space. You were talking of optic nerves, blind spots, visual pathways, the art of making worlds. I understand, but reality drains away to nothing so quickly, like water through cupped hands. When I look straight at you, all I see is myself, a little doll holding a circle open with a star of limbs, inverted in the black hole of your eyes. The next one is a poem about a pub, and I think every writer needs at least one pub poem. This is about our local pub, which is literally just on the corner, almost close enough to go to in your slippers. And it's called The Actress, which is quite a kind of generic name, and it makes you wonder who the actress on the pub sign actually was, if it actually was anyone in particular. So this is The Actress. Her face hangs still, snub-nosed, hair twisted up and pinned against its weight into thick fronds, a spiky-leaved, exotic hothouse plant in a brown parlour. Beneath her, voices turn, like a flock of words riding the evening's breeze. Stacked glasses curl around a barmaid's shoulder, and the small nocturnal eyes of cigarettes glow as a joke just struck flares and hisses to laughter. A girl on the corner twists a rope of hair into a white gold knot and steps off stage into her own world. Weight blushes through her soles. She feels the petals of each breath unfold and wilt. A confetti of pink boats run around on the reef of time. The door swings open. She tightens the girth of her smile, loops a band around her hair, and turns inside. How am I doing for time?
Oh, fine, yeah.
Am I okay?
Yeah, keep going.
This was a poem that an old flatmate of mine asked me to write for her wedding, which does happen from time to time when people know that you write. And she said that her theme was beaches, which was fine, but she only asked me about a week before the wedding. So a lot of this poem was written on the East Coast train up to Scotland from London. But it's called Processional. And I guess what I was thinking when I was writing it is, what would it be like to see the sea for the first time if you'd maybe grown up in somewhere like London, you'd seen kind of swimming pools, but you'd never actually seen this thing called the sea. Processional. I watch you stand up, consider, then walk towards me. The sun stretches your shadow over the hot, bleached sand. Dogs race for a ball. A kite jerks and dives through the sky, but you savour each step as if you were walking to music. Then pause on the edge to gather your courage about you. Like weaver fish that bury themselves in the sand, dangers lurk in our dreams. You watch the breaking waves curl back into themselves like outstretched hands. It's an invitation. The blue, viscous pulse of the tide rolls over your toes, and silver fish glimmer and dart through patches of sunlight. Your feet map out the seabed. For the first time ever, you glimpse the curve of the earth, and then you let go, and the water keeps its promise. It gathers beneath you, strong as a hand on your back, and you become weightless, floating on all that you know, as clouds charged with light sail east towards a new day.
Penny Faulkner, more applause please. And we're going to take a 20-minute break now, so you can recharge your glasses, etc. Just to say, there's lots of nice sea imagery in the poetry tonight, so that's the spring tides we're talking about influencing the poet's selection.